I remember the driver's briefing on the morning of the race, and Ayrton was very emotional, and there was a lot of stories about we have to do something together, we have to improve safety. This is not exactly, this is the reaction to Roland Ratzenberger's death, which was equally sad. Ayrton was, it was a very powerful driver's briefing, and Ayrton was in many ways leading the discussion, the debate. So I don't think his head was necessarily in the right place that day after the events.
And I went to Senna in his motorhome on Sunday morning, and he was sitting in there reading the Bible, and I said, listen, I have to talk to you. I'm not the driver anymore. I was the advisor to Ferrari at the time, but you are the number one driver of this generation. You have to do something about safety. You cannot just let these things happen. And he listened to me very carefully and said, you're right, we have to be careful now because of the speed the cars are doing, that safety keeps on developing. And I convinced him that he is the master of the group, and he's the only one who can move.
I saw the Williams in the wall, saw the pieces coming, we went around them. Then we were told he was okay because he moved his head. And then we restarted the race, and 20 years later nearly, I'm still very angry about that. We should never have started that race, because quite clearly the things we know now, Ayrton was effectively dead at that point. So we raced past a pool of his blood for 50 odd laps when we were told that he was okay because he moved his head. What we know is there was one final movement of his head, maybe some kind of nervous reaction or whatever, but he was effectively dead. So I'm really disappointed about that. It's really difficult and wrong to make comments when you don't have enough information. I think maybe the car was a bit too low and he hit the ground. When I saw the Senna movie and we were on board from the previous lap before he crashed, I was surprised how well the car was handling. It was handling well, like the temperatures of the tyres, and therefore the pressures were coming up. That surprised me. I spoke to Damon Hill about the steering, and he said, look, if the steering broke, you'd see his hands going like that, and he didn't feel that that's what happened. So, you know, we can only discuss what we know. Well, I don't know enough about it to make a definitive, but you know, if you ask me to guess, I think the car was running very low and it hit the ground.
Who knows what happened? I mean, I did talk to Damon Hill a lot, and he said that he got himself into trouble at Tamburello several times when the car bottomed and whatnot. And he said, and I wasn't going anything like as quickly as Ayrton. And the safety car, it wasn't a quick car. And of course there was a lot of speculation afterwards about had the fact they'd been going so slowly let tyre temperatures get right down, and of course then which sort of lowered the cars on the road, and they're already sort of that far from the road.
It's a great irony and slightly uncomfortable that Formula One went up in popularity after the death of Ayrton Senna, because people took note of it, and it's like, what is this business? What is this sport? And he became a global icon, not just a Formula One icon.